AI Humanifesto, the humanity version of AI. Thoughts?
When we think of a human manifesto, it's control. Where are we placing control?
Fear controls people. And so all I ever hear, I never hear about the potential, I always hear about the fear. Educate people about what this means for them. Don't scare them.
It's really important to have diversity in, pretty much every demographic, because the thing that you can't really replicate in AI is like a lived experience.
What does the product do to further peaceful and equitable coexistence on this planet as a human? I guess it's not just for products, but for anything.
Who owns the decision? If your AI is providing recommendations or input into an application or into a system or a process, the human is still in charge. The human still has responsibility and making sort of the ultimate decision, and can include other factors that may have not been included in the original AI's model.
Does AI actually make us better human beings? The internet was supposed to be the promise. It hasn't delivered. So my question is that.
I love the Humanifesto part. I get tripped up over AI because we talk about it as a two-letter word. If you explode it out, it's artificial intelligence. It's man-made knowledge. It's knowledge, but it's only knowledge because we, the people in the room, have stamped it as knowledge. Do we take some of the power out of AI a little bit and put more power into the Humanifesto? The machine will not, in and of itself, say this is knowledge. The only reason why we're even talking about AI right now is because we as people have given it room to be what it is.
Related to humanity and just our environment and what that means, I think it puts more onus on us to be really responsible about, using AI in the right way and not overusing it, because there's a back-end implication with where do we get all the energy from to actually process all the data to be able to generate this information.
There's a lot of gray area, and we like to think of it in terms of black and white. Let's just talk about agency, for example. AI often gets it wrong. So how does the human stay in the loop for course correction, training of the system, looping it back in? There's also the idea of, what can I delegate to the AI? There's stuff I don't like to do, I would love not to do anymore. It came up in a few talks. How do I still have the approval before it acts on my behalf? How does it stay out of the stuff I don't want it to be in, yet be useful? And the useful part is the hard part.
My question is about who owns or governs the moral authority of AI, right? I think about, in my lifetime, the ability to have freedom of speech with my friends and family, laughing and joking, freedom of thought. Sometimes it's appropriate, sometimes it's not, but it's still there, it's freedom of thought. Everybody's gonna have something that, we don't want that in the AI, God forbid it says that. So, maybe a topic of just moral authority of AI and how we don't allow governments necessarily to control that on the behalf of people. I don't know that that's a good thing.
In the conversation that I'm thinking, it's kind of, do we need cultural AIs that are personas themselves? So a US UI, a UK UI, a Thai UI, ones that can affiliate and associate to the humanization of the culture, rather than just a generalist AI that's going to be across the globe.
All the comments that we've talked about, I'm hearing all those different altitudes, right? So if you talk about culture and wisdom, well, again, that has to come from people. Yes, you can feed it into a machine, but then when the culture changes, who's responsible for feeding the machine with a new thing? So it has to be a cycle. And again, I think the control piece, I think that's where I'm at with this, and maybe the product or the manifesto or whatever is more education, because I think that's the humanness of this, is that you give people the tools to be able to have the freedom of thought, right? And to be able to reason and things like that. And it is more of because that's the human side of it. As soon as you put a thing in front of it and it becomes a gate, it becomes less human.
I think in a manifesto, we need to think about what are the human touches, what are those touch points, control, but also reference. AI in a black box needs a little bit more traceability, a little bit more things that can guide a human to make better choices and not just do what is right in front of them and what's easy. So I think control, I think you're right, tapping right into it. There's something about control that we still need to have.
AI Humanifesto.